Welcome to Basic Brewing Radio for Thursday, June 12th, 2025. I'm James Spencer. Here at Basic Brewing Radio, we're all about home brewing. This week, a cast of characters joins Steve Wilkes and me to taste the 24th Hop Sampler, comparing Nugget, UK Harlequin, and Cryo Pop. Our regulars from the Masher Luck and Recipe Development shows, Chris Colby, Adam Ross, Matt Giovanisi, Josh Secor, and Scott Housel all come together in a hop sampler extravaganza. If you want to support us financially, check out patreon.com/basicbrewing, and many thanks to everybody who's helping out in that way. If you go to patreon.com/basicbrewing, you can see a long list of stuff that you can access if you sign up as a supporter. And many thanks to the new Patreon subscribers who are signing up every week. Your help is very much appreciated. Steve and I actually shot some videos recently. We did 4 episodes. Actually, we did 5. But I neglected to roll the tape on the first one, so we had to do it again. I think that's the first time that's happened on Basic Brewing Video. Knock wood, it won't happen again. Although sipping additional beer and talking with Steve about beer isn't a bad thing to have to do again. Financial supporters will see the first episode before the general public, along with a behind-the-scenes video showing how the beer came together. They'll see that on Friday. Supporters will also get the recipe for the beer. And we decided not to shoot a video about the Helles that I brewed for the experiment I did with Detlef on the show recently. I still have the behind-the-scenes footage because I shot footage of me brewing the beer, and I'll release that to financial supporters next month, so y'all will get an exclusive look at how that beer came together. I quickly want to get to the main part of the show, but not before talking about our friends and sponsors at Imperial Yeast. Steve and I both have been brewing some really good lagers recently with Imperial, most recently with Imperial Never and Looker, and I have Imperial Kampai in the fridge waiting its turn. And next week's show, we have the same guys, and I solicit ideas from those guys in next week's show for Kampai, what beer I can brew with that. It's a Japanese strain, so that was an interesting conversation. Off mic, after we recorded the 2 shows, we reminisced about the early days of liquid yeast when homebrewers I knew around here, including me, felt that they absolutely had to make a starter when using liquid yeast. Well, as you know, that's history for me, because those 200 billion cells in each easy-to-open package of Imperial make it to where my stir plate is usually dusty because I don't use it anymore to make starters for moderate gravity 5-gallon batches. And with ales, my airlocks are usually bubbling before bedtime. Imperial yeast also has a recommended shelf life of 4 months, so you can stock up a bit without worrying about how quickly that you need to schedule your next brew day. Ask your local homebrew store about Imperial Yeast and check out all the dependable deliciousness at imperialyeast.com. That's imperialyeast.com. Okay, I had a great amount of fun getting together with these guys. It was a blast getting to hear their perceptions of these 3 hops. Steve Wilkes, welcome back to Basic Brewing Radio.
Thanks, James.
We're joined by a cast of characters this time. As in my estimation, this is the 24th hop sampler, and it's been like a couple of years since we've done one of these.
Yeah, I guess it probably has, yeah.
Do you remember, I was asking you a couple of seconds ago, do you remember if we've ever done the hop sampler where it wasn't just you and me?
No, I don't. I kind of don't think we did, but I just don't know. I don't remember anything pre-COVID.
Well, here we've got 5 other folks joining us. We have
all excellent brewers, by the way.
Yeah, we have Chris Colby, author and comedian. Say hi, Chris.
Hey.
We have Matt Giovanisi of Brew Cabin and Swim University out there in Colorado.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me again.
We have Josh Secor up at Gambit Brewing in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Hello there.
We have Adam Ross of Twin Span Brewing up in Bettendorf, Iowa.
Good evening.
And Scott Housel down in Florida. So we got 3 out of... hi, Scott.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Scott. We got 3 out of the 4 continental U.S. continental time zones represented here. Wow. And this is like I say, a monumental thing. I wanted to get you all together. Number one, because I thought it'd be fun to taste all, at the same time. And number two, Friday the 13th, I'm going to be 60 years old. So this is kind of my birthday party, or one of them. Wow. So, welcome.
I would have brought shots, but.
Wow.
You made it kind of sad, actually.
Well, Cake's in the mail, James.
and Adam also celebrated a milestone birthday recently.
Yeah, I turned 40, and then shortly after that, the brewery turned 5.
Well, congratulations!
Oh, nice. Congrats, dude.
Congratulations
on both accounts.
Happy birthday.
And Steve Wilkes' wedding anniversary is also on my birthday.
Wow, 27th anniversary. Yeah.
Gosh,
wow. Cheers.
That's a long time.
It's the best 5 years of my life.
Yeah. I don't have the drum. You should be giving your own rim shots there, Steve. So this is the hop sampler, and what I've done is I've made 3 small batches of beer. Each one of them yielded 7 beers. So we're gonna kill the whole batch here this evening, and we're featuring this evening UK Harlequin, Nugget, and Cryo Pop. So, shall I talk about the recipe before we get into the sipping and the drinking? The recipe is you take 3 quarts of water, and you put it in a pan on the stove, and a kettle, and then you start to warm that up. And usually, when it gets to around 140 degrees Fahrenheit, I put in 1 pound or 450 grams of Pilsen Light dry malt extract. And then just as soon as that comes up to the boil, as soon as it starts to bubble, I shut off the heat, and then I add the amount of hops required. I set it off the heat for 10 minutes, covered, and then I cool it down in an ice bath, and I put it in a 1-gallon jug and pitch 3 grams of Safale USO5. Many years ago, I measured the original and final gravity of a couple of these batches. The original gravity was around 1066. The final gravity is around 1009 for an ABV of around 7.5%. So these are pretty decent-sized beers.
Yeah.
So all of them are a single hop addition at a single time.
Correct.
Right?
No boil.
No boil.
So what we have in front of us here are 3 bottles. Each have duct tape on the top.
You couldn't afford bottle caps?
Yeah. And I had to put a lot of duct tape on there, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do they hold the pressure?
So we're going to play a little guessing game. So I want everybody to, first of all, if you haven't already, open bottle number 1 without taking the tape off, if you can, and pour. And
I can't believe you didn't play when Steve said under pressure. I can't believe you didn't play the.
Did I miss it?
I missed it too.
I'll do it twice just for. Oh my God! So these are bottle conditions. So there's a bit of sediment on the bottom. Wow, I think it's well carbonated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mine's carbonated.
So it's a nice. What would you call that? A pale color. A nice light color.
Straw. Yeah. Real.
Yeah.
Has anybody been sipping already? Anybody want to jump in with some tasting notes already?
I was trying to follow the rules on the first one.
It smells. You get the aromatics from the hops. It's nice. It tastes like a well balanced pale ale.
Mm-hmm.
And the hops are nice. They're nicely present, and they're a little bit lemony to my taste.
I'm getting a little like peach, nectarine kind of.
I
Not
went
white
to
peach.
mango. Yeah, peach,
Yeah.
mango.
Yeah,
That's a tasty little beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. I was worried because I haven't made one of these in a couple of years. But but these usually turn out to be pretty dang good. Just this, and it takes like an hour to brew each of these batches, so it's super easy to put these together. Do you guys have experience? What's your experiences with? Well, I'll start with you, Adam, because I know that you've got some experiences with one of these hops, between Harlequin, Nugget, and Cryo Pop.
Yeah, I've never brewed with Harlequin or Nugget. I've had a couple Nugget beers. It's been a while. But Cryo Pop, I just brewed a hazy pale ale with Cryo Pop, and holy wow, that is an expensive hop. It's like 3 times as expensive per pound as my next most expensive hop that I ever use. But I really enjoy it, and I'm probably not going to be able to pick it out of a lineup. I don't know. I'll be surprised if I do. It's a weird hop. It kind of just exists to boost other hops. I think like by itself, it's kind of odd.
Interesting.
That's kind of what I thought it was. Yeah.
Is it a blend?
I think it's a blend, but I think it's a cryo blend. So it's the lupulin pulled out of the pellets or pulled into pellets. I guess not out of pellets, but yeah, I think it's kind of meant as a booster for a lot of beers. So I think it's intended to be sort of middle of the road flavor wise, which this kind of could be that. A little peach, a little mango, a little citrus.
If you look at the spider chart of all the hop flavors, it's like a circle.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Really unique hop. And yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I want to smell the other ones first, but I was thinking, I was wondering. I'm like, maybe already.
So one question I have, James.
Yes, sir.
Is did you put the same amount of hops in all 3 of these batches, or did you do it to like hit a certain
Alpha
IBU?
acid.
Yeah.
That's an excellent question.
Thank you.
I weigh them according to the alpha acid percentage.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, Harlequin is 13.4%, Nugget is 14.1, Cryo Pop was like 22.
Yeah.
So I put half an ounce or 14 grams each of Harlequin and Nugget, and then 9 grams of the Cryo Pop, just because my journalistic math, if it came out right, theoretically the amount of alpha acids would be the same in those.
Okay.
So that's an excellent question. Thank you for reminding me. So why don't I read the description that I found online for Cryo Pop since we're on it. This is from the Yakima Chief website. In 2017, Yakima Chief Hops launched a line of innovative hop products known as Cryo Hops, a cryogenic hop processing technology that separates whole cones into 2 components, concentrated lupulin and bract. These concentrated lupulin pellets provide brewers with maximum aroma impact while reducing the negative effects often experienced with today's high hopping rates. We combined this novel process with a cutting-edge lab analysis to create Cryo Pop blends. YCH's R&D facility houses one of the only labs in the... That's not a good grammar, is it, Steve? One of the only. Should be one of the few. One of the only labs in the world with the capability to analyze previously undetectable aromatic components, allowing the identification of those with the greatest potential of showing up in finished beers. Now we get to the important part. This blend of Cryo Hops pellets contains hop varieties that are loaded with beer-soluble compounds that survive harsh brewing processes, including heat, fermentation, and CO2 scrubbing. By maximizing concentrations of the most impactful and complementary hop compounds, we offer an incredibly powerful hop pellet that creates a true pop of aroma in beers. Formerly known as Trial Blend TRI 2304CR, the Cryo Pop Original Blend delivers massive tropical, stone fruit, and citrus aromas. So there you go.
I want to say they released it a few years back, right around the time they put out this big report on survivable hop compounds. I don't remember if Josh, if you're nodding your head, I don't remember if you made a big deal of that like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Cryo Pop launched alongside that.
Yeah.
And I think this was like the result of them identifying all those hop compounds.
In that sip, I just got some nectarine, a little bit.
Oh, I think
Scott and Matt, have you? I don't remember you saying anything about what you're sensing. Not to put you on the spot, Scott.
I can relate with the peach and the mango. Little bit of citrus, and I think the bitterness is pretty much right on. That's my take.
Matt?
Yeah, I got mango immediately when I opened it. Bitterness is, and again, I don't know if I'm just not drinking a lot of bitter beers recently, like a lot of crispy pilsners and well, they're bitter, but it's bitter. It's a pale for sure. So so the two hops are Harlequin and Nugget. Those ones have the same rough alpha acid range, and then the other one, Cryo Pop, has a super high one.
Yeah, but I added less of that proportionally.
Right.
With
okay, and no boil, but same. Okay, so because I'm wondering if the key to guessing it right is the bitterness. We'll find out.
Well, sometimes you just don't know, right, Steve? I mean,
yeah. Most of the time, I don't know. I was going
to say, getting it right is to have James edit the show at the end, so that we all nail it. Oh yeah, that's definitely
that we've never cheated. I've never cheated on this. Have you, James? Own up to it.
Oh no.
No, I never have. I've always been.
I'm too dang honest.
Takes all the fun out of it too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm looking. I think that we might be onto the Yakima cheese. I mean the Cryo Hop here, because I'm reading about it now too. And in one of their product sheets, they talk about it being peach, pineapple, strawberry, guava, mango, orange.
Yeah,
that's the descriptors for it. Now that doesn't mean that we won't open the next one and go, oh wait a minute, that's even more peach, strawberry. Right. So. But at the moment, I'm like, yeah, that kind of fits the descriptor of this, and it's a nice pale ale.
And
it's kind of east. I was going to say it's kind of East Coasty to me. It's kind of like what I would expect in a New England style IPA beer.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to going 0-3 and just being humiliated on your podcast. People like, you couldn't even tell the mango hops from the other one.
Well, Steve and I, in the 20 some odd that we've done this, Steve and I have each struck out. So on many occasions. So should we go to number 2 now? Should we try number 2?
Sure. Who does number 2 for?
Number 2. I'll try not to pour as vigorously as I did that last time. It was I
think the vigorous pour is necessary.
I had shaving cream.
Vigorous pour was my first Twitter handle.
Shaving cream. Be nice and clean. Shave every day and you'll always look keen. Well, some Dr. Demento fan will remember that song. The baby fell out of... The baby fell out of the window. You'd think that his head would have split, but lucky for us that he landed right in a great pile of shaving cream. Be nice and clean.
Wow.
Well, they're both still yellow. That's a good sign.
Yeah, they're the same color.
Very different beer.
Yeah, incredibly different. Just even it has like almost a different mouthfeel, like a oiliness to the mouthfeel.
Yeah. I don't get anywhere near as much complexity from it. It seems a little more of a kind of a one-trick pony kind of.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mine's also clearer.
Huh. I was going to say the same.
I agree. Mine's not as hazy.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting? A little cotton candy.
Ooh. Let me try.
Yeah.
Cotton candy, he says.
I'm not getting any circus peanuts.
I think some hops always have that flavor descriptor of cream, which I always think is odd. And then every once in a while I run into a hop where I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking.
To me, there's orange. There's orange in it, but it's almost like Kool-Aid orange, not real orange. Almost like a fake orange.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is
orange. Creamsicle?
Creamsicle and red number 5 or something in it.
To me, this has a sharper bitterness than the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It really kind of lingers on the palate a little bit longer.
It does.
After that mouthfeel.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do we like the first one better or the second so far?
Right now, I'm liking this one better. I feel like
this one
like
better.
a tiny bit of Earl Grey, which goes with the orange.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The first sip of, I'm sorry, Matt, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think the second one for me is a little bit more bitter. I might be on.
I do too.
No, I'm sorry. I'm so
totally
sorry.
Agree.
I mean, the first one.
The first one is more bitter.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the bitterness on the second one is sharper than the first.
I do too. I don't, and I'm not getting. Somebody said it's not as complex. I agree with that. It's not. It's kind of. It's still tasty, as you know. I would and will drink the whole pint, but
yeah,
it's just not as. It's not as fruity. It's not like a tropical fruit, smoothie kind of deal. It's more kind of a traditional pale ale.
Well,
so to speak.
My first sip of it after tasting hop number one was that it wasn't as complex. I still don't think it is, but I actually kind of like it a little better. I don't know, but I kind of like that traditional taste like a beer, taste rather than a whole lot of stone fruit and stuff. I tend to go toward those kind of flavors, just my palate. So as I've sipped on beer number two a little bit more, I'm kind of like, oh, I really like that. So,
agreed fully. Yeah.
Shall I read a random hop descriptor number two?
Yeah.
Sure.
The first was Cryo Pop. This is Nugget. Nugget hops are a popular high alpha variety known for their strong bittering potential and a subtle herbal aroma. They are commonly used in IPAs, stouts, and other American craft beer styles where a robust hop bitterness is desired. His Nugget was developed in the 1970s by the USDA breeding program in Oregon and released in 1983, as I was released from high school in 1983.
That's when I was born.
Lord.
Ouch.
That's when I went in the Army.
It's a cross between Brewer's Gold and a high alpha acid male.
We're reading the same thing.
Key characteristics: alpha acids typically 12 to 14%, beta acids typically 4.2 to 5.8. Aroma: green, herbal, and sometimes woody. Well,
aren't we all?
Wasn't that the description in your high school yearbook, Steve?
Yes.
Wow.
Herbal and sometimes woody. Known for its smooth, clean, and mild bitterness. Nugget is primarily used for its high bittering potential, making it a staple in American craft beer styles. While best known for bittering, it can also contribute herbal and woody notes when added later in the boil or during dry hopping. Nugget hops are widely grown in the Pacific Northwest, particularly in Oregon and Washington. So there you go. So it's kind of a traditional American hop.
Josh, do you remember the Toppling Goliath Nugget IPA?
Yeah, that's like that's my reference for Nugget.
Same,
yeah, for sure.
Mine's Nugget Nectar.
Oh,
yeah, I've had
that's
Nugget
another
Nectar
one.
before. Yeah.
Who's that?
Trogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sip! I got a little bit more of the citrus. Just a little. It's more like lemon, rather than like tangerine or like one of the softer citrus fruits.
I get candied orange. We had a dinner at the brewery last night, and it was Mediterranean stuff, and we had that kind of savory candied type of orange, where like you eat the peel and everything. That's what I'm getting off of this.
Steve, should we tell them about our brewing accident yesterday during shooting of the of the video shows?
I forgot. Totally.
Steve was pouring what was supposed to be like a 5% straight down the line Pilsner, and as he poured his sample second, we heard this clink in the glass, and my first thought was, "Oh no, there's broken glass inside the bottle," but it wasn't, was it, Steve?
No, it frozen. And so we.
Oh God.
So I this was just a 2.5 gallon batch that I just brewed really for the show. So it's a little Czech pills done in my garage pseudo style, And apparently, I threw what I had left, a couple 6-packs in my garage refrigerator, and a couple of them froze apparently. But anyway, we poured it, and what'd you think, James?
It was amazing. It was really good
beer.
Yeah, ice pilsner.
Yeah.
And it looked like, to me, just estimating, about half of the volume of that bottle was ice.
Yeah.
So we figure it was probably, 10% alcohol by volume at that point?
I imagine so. Yeah, 10 to 12% probably.
That's at the back of the fridge, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's the back. I got all the beers back there now. But it was. I mean, we've made Applejack once or twice on the show, and have we done an ice beer?
Yeah, we did an ice barley wine. So we did a small batch barley wine and then froze that, and but it was awesome. It just magnified the flavors of that beer, and we tasted an unfrozen, or as my grandma would say, an unthawed version of it later, and it was really fun to compare those two, because the thawed out one, or the one that wasn't frozen, was just as you'd expect. It tastes like a pilsner, but the ice beer was just pilsner plus.
Over the top. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Now, James, I can't legally brew Icepack, so I won't say on recording that I ever made Icepack. But if you were to do it, I don't recommend drinking the ice that's been removed once that thaws out.
Oh,
that's pretty rough. Yeah, take it from me.
Yeah, I think we tried that as well with our beer, and no, it's the bad parts are left behind for sure. Okay, so this is opening up as time goes on, as you'd expect. It's a nice little beer. I'm going to go back and sip the first one just for fun.
I could talk myself into Woody on this the second one.
Gross.
Got a little Buzz Lightyear.
I want to turn the cameras off before I did that.
Different show.
Taking my boot.
That's what we call a tubin in the industry.
Yeah.
All right.
For the after show.
I'm going to open beer number 3.
I'm really curious about this one, because when I first tasted number 2, I thought it was Nugget right away. But then the more you read the descriptions, woody, herbal. Is it too citrusy? But now we're going to find out.
I wouldn't recommend tasting number 2 at any point, Josh.
Well, one thing that we found
3, this was the most carbonated. Number 3 had like a very
this
nice head.
This pours. Yeah, this has got a good head. There's a lot of little bubbles coming up like a champagne. Still about the same color. I think it might be a little darker.
I poured gently on that one. One thing that Steve and I have discovered in doing this is that more, like even EKG or even Fuggle or some of the more traditional hops that you don't hear described as being citrusy, treated in this way with just the Flame Out edition. Some of them do come up with some citrusy compounds or some citrusy flavors. So, okay, here's beer number 3. Oh, cheers, everybody! Let's get a picture.
Cheers.
Okay.
Wait, let me get my. Of course, if I was smart, I could know how to do a screenshot.
This is what I do all day, taking thumbnails for YouTube.
Like, here we go. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay. Somebody
Getting menthol on the nose. Is anyone else doing that, or am I just crazy?
Menthol?
Nope, you're not crazy. Yeah.
I thought raspberry.
Oh,
Like raspberry, red berries. Totally not what I was expecting.
This one seems to me to be the fruitiest, and the fruit that I'm smelling is a red, like a strawberry, a raspberry, maybe a blackberry, something like that. That's the kind of fruit I'm getting off of it, as opposed to apples or peaches or oranges.
This is a really interesting hop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't smell nothing.
No one else is getting menthol, or is that just me smoking?
Nope.
too much menthol?
You've talked me into that too.
It's those Newports that you're on.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's a cool. This one's really different. Really different.
Maybe my palate's getting destroyed, but it's the least fruity so far, and these have all been sitting out at room temperature.
The finish on this one makes me think it's a higher cohumulone hop, which makes me think it's Nugget. And if I'm wrong, could you please just delete that from me?
Delete everything. I can see that because it is, to me, it's really red berry and fruity up front, but then it finishes woody.
Yeah,
like I can talk myself into woody more on this one than I could the last one.
I get menthol and mint, a little bit of mint just on
I'm convinced it's Nugget because to me the way that I don't really perceive any fruit or anything, but it tastes like a classic pale ale, like something I would drink in PA in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I think number 3 is Nugget.
I kind of do too, and it's because every beer I've ever had with Nugget, I've only ever used Nugget as a bittering hop, really.
Right.
And every time I have a beer that features it, I'm surprised at how good it is.
I've brewed with Nugget a few times, but it's been a long time ago, so I don't really have a frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not picking up any aromas like at all. Nothing distinct.
Well, that's crazy because I do. I do. I get a really strong red berry.
I do.
Okay.
I completely agree, Steve. Yeah. It's raspberries, blackberries, some red fruits.
Yeah.
You talked me into it. Raspberry and mint are the two big ones for me.
Yeah, I could be.
Nice. I like that.
The flavor at the very beginning, I could be talked into like a strawberry or something like that. A candy version of strawberry.
I got my guest. I got it.
Almost like a Jolly Rancher.
Well, shall I read the description of Harlequin from the British Hop Association?
Please do.
The flavor and aroma, tropical fruit flavors and aromas including passion fruit, peach, and pineapple. Characteristics, passion fruit, peach, and pineapple. Bittering characteristics, complex bitterness with tropical fruit notes. Harlequin is from the Charles Ferrum Hop Development Program, MME. It's a dual-purpose hop and excels when used in late and dry hopping, but also offers smooth bittering characteristics. A daughter of Godiva, selected for its aroma, disease resistance, and yield. So alpha acid from 9.5 to 12%, and then all the other stuff. Yeah, now that you said menthol, that's kind of lingering on my tongue on number 3 for sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, the one thing I can say, James, is all 3 of these are good beers. I mean, I'd be happy to have a pint of any of these.
And they're all very different.
For any of them?
Even to the mouthfeel and everything. This third one I think is the heaviest on the palate.
Agreed. Yeah, totally.
The first one is the lightest for sure.
Yep. God, I'm good at agreeing with things.
I wonder if the first one is lightest because it has less hop vegetal matter.
Ooh.
Because it's obviously Cryo Pop. I'm going to be so wrong.
I'd be right there with you, and that's I'm thinking the first one's Cryo Pop as well.
Ooh. Yeah, it's like very juicy. Now that it's warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a more of a bittering charge to it as well. Like as they warm, the perception of bitterness is stronger to me.
Number 2,
almost like red wine tannins.
Oh, number 2 has got
on the third one
a lot more fruity.
Yeah, well, actually, on all of them, as they warm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fruit characteristics of number 2 has started to come out a lot more.
Has anyone here brewed with Harlequin before?
I never heard of it until 2 days ago.
No, I've thought about it. I've looked at it, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, wait till we get that next beer going.
Yeah, wait till next show. I put 1 pound. Well, to be honest, it was 0.5 ounces shy of 1 pound because the other half an ounce is in one of these beers.
I'm in.
Oh, really?
I like where you're headed.
So you cheaped me on the triple?
There's still more than a pound of hops in there. It's just not all of the Harlequin.
Yeah, it's not a pound though.
But you got another beer out of it.
It's true.
So, do we have a favorite before we go on to the guessing round? Let's go around the horn. I'll go in the order that you're on my screen. Josh, do you have a favorite of the three?
I think my favorite is number 1, then number 2, then number 3. But there's not a lot. There's not a lot between them. They're all really nice beers, and depending on what order I know what I think they are. And I'm very, very curious to see what might be on a tap line at Gambit here in the next few months.
Well, what shall we get your guesses while I'm going around and asking if you what's your guess for number 1, Josh?
Cryo Pop.
Okay, number
2 Harlequin. Number 3 Nugget.
Nugget
is my guess.
Okay, Adam, you're over there on my screen. Which is your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Make it easy for you. I'm actually, and I swear I'm not just looking off your page there, Josh. I go the same across the board. I think number 1's Cryo Pop, 2 is probably Harlequin, 3 is probably Nugget, and for me, Cryo Pop's my favorite, but it's a toss-up. It's really hard. I'm kind of leaning towards Nugget being my second favorite. But I don't know. I've taken small steps so far. I need to drink more and get back to you on that, James.
And Josh, I've already forgotten what was your favorite. was it the
Cryo Pop is my number 1 is my favorite.
Or number 1. Okay. All right, Scott Housel, you're next.
I'm gonna go with number 2 because I'm kind of in the mood for, like Steve was saying, more traditional. And that's what I was thinking. This tastes like a beer, and that's what I'm more in the mood for lately. But I think, number 2, maybe number 1 sometimes. But I think I would like to switch it up just so I could be right and everybody else be wrong. But I think I got to concur, and 3 does seem like it's got the woodiness, and I think, agreed. Cryo Pop, then Harlequin, then Nugget.
Matt.
Not to be a contrarian, but number 3 was my favorite.
Oh, nice.
And my answers are number 1 is Harlequin or Harlequin?
I say Harlequin.
Mm-hmm. Harlequin. Harlequin.
That's
Harlequin.
Right.
Number 2 is Cryo. Number 3 is Nug.
Chris
and I have mine written down. So I have number 1 is Har.
Oh.
Number 2 is Cryo. Number 3 is Nug.
So you're on the record.
Oh. When
So
you release this as a video podcast, James, we're all going to have better visual aids like Matt does.
Well,
this is what I do for a living.
Exactly.
So
it's what he does. Chris Colby, your favorite.
Okay, in terms of favorites, I like number 1 the best, number 3 the second best, and number 2 the third best. In terms of guessing the hops, I'm pretty sure number 3 is Nugget, and I'm content to say that I don't have any experience with those other 2 hops, so they could be either. Which makes me look like a genius later, no matter how it turns out I'm right.
You got to pick.
Yeah.
Unless the Nugget's wrong.
Okay, I'll go with the first being Harlequin.
Okay.
But I'm not that's a very low confidence guess from me.
All right. Steve Wilkes, your favorite.
I'm going to go with what's generally the consensus, meaning that I think it's Cryo, Harlequin, and Nugget. And I I kind of go back and forth. I think the only thing I can say for sure as far as what I like the best is I like number 2 or number 3 the best. I think I like number 2 the best for the reason that it tastes the most like just a traditional beer. It doesn't have anything going on except beer. So that's my pick, and I agree with the general consensus. And watch, he probably did. They're all just Chinook.
Yeah.
And James just did this to like, mess with us.
Yeah.
The birthday surprise.
Yeah. Which actually, I brewed a beer with some Chinook that I had in the freezer for at least 2 years. So I never opened it. It was like a 1 pound bag, and I went, "Oh crud! I got this. I'll try it." I brewed with it. You know what? It was just fine, but it didn't have any top notes at all left. The bittering was fine. I'll use it to bitter with, going forward a little bit, but. So that was a good one of those little lessons you learn from just finding something stuck in the back of the freezer.
Like your beers.
Yeah,
The hops are really Huel Melon, Nelson Sauvin, and Brewer's Gold. James is just like making us look like idiots.
That's right.
All right.
I think I like number 2 the best. I'm going to go with Harlequin being number 1 and Cryo Pop 2, and I'll stick with the crowd and do Nugget 3.
No.
We're all going down together.
Yeah, nobody.
Well, one thing that I think we should just acknowledge is that really all we're trying to do is determine which of the 3 hops we like the best. That any of these hops done as a fully articulated recipe would be delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
I want to make sure that the folks listening aren't like, oh, well, I can't brew with that. I can't brew with that because those weren't as good. That's not what the contest is to me.
Oh no, this is totally open my regardless of which one Nugget is.
Right.
Nugget makes a tasty beer as a single hop, as a hoppy, you could absolutely brew a hoppy pale ale with Nugget and have something that you're going to be happy with.
I just wouldn't brew with number 4.
No, straight out.
Hard pass on that.
Yeah, hard pass.
The water is it's a little bland. Hop notes
refreshing.
Yeah.
Definitely refreshing.
There's very few carbs.
Now we have had a couple of clunkers on the show with it. There have been a few hops that we're just like, ugh, no, this is not good.
Once in a while,
Citra, Mosaic.
Yeah.
We accidentally did Citra twice on the show. So.
For me, it's the hops that still have numbers on them.
Right.
Experimental hop 8497. It's like, oh, that's the one that tastes like motor oil.
Well, there was one hop. I don't remember which hop it was, but we got it, and it was just. I opened up the package, and it was just nasty. I mean, the hop was old, and it was not well handled, and I brewed with it anyway, and you could tell it came out that it was not good.
Yeah, brewing doesn't save bad hops, and I think it's worth pointing out that
that's not true. That's not true. Lambics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good point. Yeah,
it's funny that anybody gets these right when there's so much. You hear about the big brewers that get to go on hop selection and they pick specific lots and they pick specific fields, and I'm nowhere near that size of a brewery that I can do that, but I do know the difference between like early harvest and late harvest El Dorado, and I do know the difference between Oregon El Dorado and Michigan El Dorado, and I have a preference. So when we say like this is Nugget, there's so many more variables, and there's bad years for hops. Like for years, Galaxy was not good.
Galaxy was diesel fuel for
and Mosaic wasn't so good, and then you get the smoke painted hops as well, and those can just be they can ruin your entire brew. So yeah, tons of variables. It's funny that we can kind of corral these into archetypes at all, I guess.
Okay, are we ready for the unveiling?
That was my cop out. If I get this all wrong, I'm like, hey.
Yeah, I have a really bad feeling.
Very smart.
Okay, here we go. Let's rip off the Band-Aid here. Hey! Matt and Chris and I got Harlequin as number 1, and that's what it is.
Really?
Harlequin.
Mine says headquarters.
Number 2, if it's Nugget, oh my God.
Oh, wow.
It's Nugget!
Number 2 is Nugget? Are you serious?
Wow.
No.
Bad crop year.
Wow.
Bad crop year.
Wow.
This means I didn't get any of them right.
No one got anything right.
Nobody did.
Well,
Thanks a lot,
somebody
Steve.
did.
Well, the
Oh, I
Harlequin,
mean, like,
Harlequin,
Hearing me wrong.
we got
Sorry,
the Harlequin
no one
number
got
one folks
the-
got it.
No one got
Wow.
a full house.
Wow. That's
Okay,
a shocker.
three.
Wow, Cryo, this. I want to go up to the brewery now and bring home some the Cryo Pop I just made. This is so far from that.
Well,
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, of course, we homebrewers get the pressed floor sweepings, like so.
Yeah.
Well, so do us small brewers. So don't feel too bad.
So we all thought
Nugget.
3 was Nugget, but it's really the one with the least amount of hop matter, then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alpha acid wise, it's the same, but yeah, it's got the least amount.
But it was the least amount of hops that you put in as well, too, right?
Right, and no vegetal matter.
Yeah. The least weight wise. I mean, we're talking.
But
But
it's cryo, right? So it's different between that and a T9, like a regular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Weight wise would be different.
Yeah.
So
It's still a T90, but it's,
right, but it would be, but it's not that you don't get the leafy matter in it, right?
you don't get as much. Yeah.
As much. Yeah, there's some, but not as
Some.
much.
Okay.
Wow. Let's not publish this episode, James.
No, sorry, James. I was busy today, and
I just like to say the ability of people to create AI deep fakes is like very strong these days, and it's possible that someone made me misidentify a Nugget beer. It could happen.
Nothing is real anymore. We all got them right. Don't worry.
So the farce is strong with you.
Well, Steve, I think I feel a little better about our record of guessing on this particular show.
Well, I don't know. It's like I had no experience with 2 of them, and with Nugget, I haven't brewed with it in at least 5-6 years, so I don't feel too bad.
I was sure that the last one was Nugget. I mean, I was
really
sure.
I think I think we all were.
yeah.
Oh, now I
Cryo
taste
Pop
it.
was the
Now I
last
taste
one.
it.
Yeah, Cryo Pop.
Yeah.
Now I get it. Yeah.
I think he's punking us. There's no way. There's no way this is Cryo Pop.
No,
I get it. Yeah,
that's the way.
interesting.
The only mistake,
2020 year harvest year, maybe.
knock wood. The only mistake that Susan and I have made in bottling these things is one hop variety probably neglected to put the priming sugar in it, so it was just flat as a pancake. But other than that, I think it's and the fact that we all 3 got the same number with the same bottle cap, I think is a testament to Susan's help and talent.
Yeah. And non-drinking.
So yeah, and so
I'm so glad I don't own a brewery right now.
Well, you want to buy one?
Susan and I
That's my
bottled.
theory of Cryo emphasizing another hop. I just mixed 2 and 3 together.
Oh, well, see,
I
that's
poured all 3 of them
That's
together.
usually Steve's trick. Steve usually
I usually
blends
start
at the end of the
blending,
show.
Yeah.
Blend. That's nice. That's really cool.
It's my new favorite.
So the next hop sampler, which is as of day before yesterday, is in the bottle, and it's Crystal, U.S. Delta, and Zithos.
Oh, I flew
all
U.S.
right.
Delta, and let me tell you,
Tastes like sadness.
This is a better experience.
It tastes like Atlanta because that's where they'll strand you.
yeah.
Don't hurt me, Delta. If I'm flying.
No, they're
no,
based
fly
out
with
of the
us
Twin
now.
Cities. Delta's based out of the Twin Cities, so when you get stranded in Minneapolis
Oh, I thought they were.
on Delta, come on down to Gambit. We'll take care of you.
Oh, there
I
you
would
go.
love that.
That sounds great to me.
I would love that. So let's go around the horn. Josh, what is happening at Gambit?
Well, we are fully in Pride Month at Gambit. I don't know when this is coming out, but I'm assuming it's going to be June. If
Tomorrow.
it's not June,
It's coming out
missed all of
tomorrow.
Pride Month. Oh, perfect.
Wow.
Perfect.
No
Perfect.
editing.
Yeah, it's full. We're full Pride Month and full anti-fascist and all of the stuff. So Yeah. We're making some fun new beers. I put a Polish lager on tap this week, made with Lubelski hops. So if you can get a hold of Polish Lubelski, James, we could try one of those in a hop sampler.
Send me an
What else
ounce.
do I have?
Is it the big Lubowski or just the little one?
No, just a little. Yeah, little. Yeah. But yeah, we're constantly churning out new beers and trying new stuff. And I thought I knew about hops, but evidently I don't. So who knows what's going to happen now? Oh, the Cicerone. Yeah, sure.
Oh, Matt is holding up a Cicerone bottle opener.
Yeah, someone gave this to me. I have no idea.
I do have my Cicerone, and it did not help me tonight. So,
Scott's also got his huge bottle opener, not to be outdone. Matt, you last time we talked to you, you were working on your hot tub book for Swim University.
That's right.
And it's out.
And it's out. It's out. It's thick.
Oh.
And it's for sale.
Pride Month.
It's out.
We're going.
It's out. It's thick.
It is colorful. There's a lot of colors.
It's out. It's thick,
But
and it's for sale. That's it.
It is for sale. Yeah, you can buy it.
Just like all of us.
You can't buy it where all books are sold, but you can certainly buy it on our website,
which is
swimuniversity.com.
And Adam Ross up at Twin Span Brewing, you just are you sold out of the giant celebratory beer that you guys made?
No. On tap we are, but we canned an awful lot of it, and it is enormous. It was a blend of 5 different barrels, bourbon barrel aged beers, and it's a lot of fun. And it's really boozy. It'll kick your butt. But yeah, we just had our 5-year anniversary, and we're in our absolute busiest time of the year. I cannot keep our core beers on tap. I committed to too many core beers. I'm hating that decision, and I'm up there all the time brewing right now, and I imagine we're ahead production from last year, but I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually look at the numbers. I'm just trying to keep beer flowing, and we're going to run out of, I know any day now we're going to run out of some beers, and people are going to be less than pleased about that. But I'm trying.
Well, there
Good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Worse problems to have.
You just created a sense of urgency for the audience.
Yeah. Oh, come on. We're almost out of beer. You got to come in, drink it all up before your friends.
While supplies last.
Scott Housel, you've got you were in the process, last I heard, of brewing your Mash Your Luck beer, right?
Yes, the first Pilsner, the starter, is finished, carbonated. It's tasting really good. Can lager a little bit more. And I just transferred the strong beer into the keg today. So it's going to be a little bit over 12. I think it's going to be about 12.2. And it's tasting really good. It is not quite semi-claws. It doesn't have like the thickness, but I'm really liking it before it's carbonated. And it's going to lager and carbonate a little bit, and It's looking really good.
Excellent. And Chris Colby, author of the Homebrew Recipe Bible, Methods of Modern Homebrewing, and How to Brew Hard Seltzer. You got articles coming out?
Yeah, I got some, but not in anything that anyone could read, like in industry publications. Boring.
Well, we got two.
I want to ask Matt a question.
Okay.
In your book on hot tubs, do you have a chapter on hot tubs that are also time machines? Because movies have led me to believe that could happen.
There's a section in one chapter about it, but no, not a full chapter. I didn't think it was. Not many people have a hot tub time machine, so I figured.
Yeah, it's a minority of hot tub.
Yeah, it's a small. It's more of a footnote, if anything. But yeah,
that's awesome. Okay, what was the question? What was the actual question, James? I'm sorry.
Well, you answered it. You said you had some articles coming out in specialty publications or.
Yeah, I've got it. I should have an article in Zymergy at some point in the future on haze stability in hazy IPAs, and a couple others. And I've got some gardening and cooking things coming out at maybe in Grit magazine from Ogden, and But yeah, I'm
Excellent.
writing for some like industry insiders that like you got to subscribe to their website to read the crap that I'm writing.
Always the salesman. And Steve Wilkes.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes was nominated for Arkansas Country Drummer of the Year. What was that?
Woo!
Wow.
I haven't.
Jazz
Should have
and
led
country.
with that.
Well, I went to the awards ceremony. I sure didn't win. The guy that I knew I wasn't going to win, but the guy that won is on tour with Kenny Chesney, who's a big country guy. I've been playing. I played country music a lot when I was a kid, like 18, 19, 20, when I first started playing professionally, if you could call it that. And then just now that I'm old and I really don't want to work that hard anymore, I've started playing with this, honky tonk. We play, like Hank Williams and Lefty Frizzell and all that kind of stuff. Nothing newer than like 1963, and it's great. And we also do a lot of Cajun music, a lot of Zydeco and Cajun and Creole music. And so I got nominated, and I'm learning to play the pandero. This is my new thing. This is a Brazilian tambourine.
Oh,
There you go.
You can tell because it's hairless.
Yeah. And you just do the. I can't do it very well yet. I can do it in time, but and then you kind of shake it and all this, and it's way cool once you learn how to do it. So I'm playing a gig Saturday at Rogers, and I'm going to play pandero and triangle the whole night.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
He had it so close. You had it ready, Steve.
What's that?
You had your instrument right
amazing.
there.
I had it behind me because I'm in my little studio,
Okay, good.
and so I was like, I got to show these guys the pandero.
well, when you guys are ready to go on tour, Steve, I got a
Music
spot
going,
for you to play
Steve.
in St. Paul.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Go play a gambit. Hey, Mr.
sure.
Hey, Mr. Pandero Man, won't
Pandero
you?
Man. The pandero is a Brazilian tambourine, and they
You guys play for free beer, right?
no.
Cold
Not
hard
anymore.
cash.
We'll
cash.
Doesn't get out of bed for beer. Come on.
All right, guys.
Anyway,
Well,
but
this is-
I am brewing some beer though. I do have 2 beers I'm brewing. I'm going to brew a smoked stout. Of course, I'm home brewer, so I'm going to brew about 5 gallons of a smoked stout. Then I'm going to brew like a what's the a Canadian lagery thing.
Yes. Well, speaking of Canada,
Jeez, I gotta take a leak so bad I can taste it.
let's hit stop, and then if you guys are up for it, we'll taste a couple of more beers for next week. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Cheers.
Sounds great.
Well, thanks again, everybody. More fun next week as we taste my Canada Maple Lager and my UK Triple IPL. You see, the hop sampler is fun and delicious, but sometimes it's really hard. It's hard to guess which is which. Sampler 25 is coming soon, and I think that's going to be just as challenging and hopefully just as delicious. If you have brewing questions, show suggestions, or just want to say howdy, write to james@basicbrewing.com, or just fill out the contact form on basicbrewing.com, and please don't forget to tell us where you're from. Check out our mobile-friendly shop at basicbrewingshop.com. Thanks to everybody supporting us through our Patreon page. Special goodies coming your way. Check that out at patreon.com/basicbrewing. That's all until next time. Until then, thanks for listening, everybody. I'm James Spencer. Production help for Basic Brewing Radio and our website is provided by Kelly Dotson. Basic Brewing Radio is a production of Active Voicing. We'll talk to you next time, everybody. In the meantime, stay well and stay tuned. So long.